Welcome back to the Ed Block Courage Cast live from Radio Row. Dave Steinwell, and joining us now, CBS Sports NFL writer Cody Benjamin. Cody, pleasure to have you on. Thank you for taking some time. How has this week been for you as a reporter?
I can't keep my eyes off the cookies here. We're drawing people on with these cookies.
We are, and there's a game we're going to play here at the end, so you're going to get to take a cookie home.
Yeah, but no, it's been an experience having it in Vegas. I feel like with some Super Bowls, it's you have the Super Bowl turning a city into a destination. Here, it's almost just like Vegas experience already existing, and then the Super Bowl thrown on top.
That was going to be my first question. Did we ever think we were going to have a day where the Super Bowl was in Vegas?
I mean, probably 10 years ago, even people inside the NFL office would have said that's not happening. But a lot has changed in the sports betting industry. I know that the Super Bowl isn't here for people, for players certainly bet, but the evolution of sports betting and kind of just that scene, I think, did open the door for this to happen.
Let's dive in a little bit into the matchup itself. Patrick Mahomes is the Ed Block Courage Award recipient for the Kansas City Chiefs, so got to plug that. Let's start with that because it feels like Kansas City has reinvented themselves this year. What do you see when you look at Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. A reinvention. When you think about those Tom Brady Patriots years too, they also went through some different phases. There was the Tom Brady to Randy Moss bombs away kind of Patriots teams, and that's kind of how Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs started. Now they look more like late stage Tom Brady Patriots, where it really doesn't matter whether it's a pretty looking performance, they get the job done. So yeah, I think they've leaned more on Isaiah Pacheco, kind of that dirty work in the trenches, on the ground, and the key is just there's been no turnovers by Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
That I think is such an incredible underlying storyline here is that Mahomes hasn't turned the ball over. Let's go to the other side in San Francisco. Brock Purdy, everybody knows the story, last pick in the draft. But the question I have, can he win the game if McCaffrey's not going?
Oh, I mean, I think he can. I think it's not going to be easy if McCaffrey is not heavily involved. But I do think the benefit that he has, not to take any credit away from him, is the supporting cast of the 49ers. I mean, I think it's clear their weapons, aside from maybe Travis Kelce, are superior to those of the 49ers. It's just a matter of can Brock Purdy, if push comes to shove, the whole regular season, 49ers looked like a world beater. The Chiefs did not. The playoffs, it's been flipped. The Chiefs have won exactly what they needed to. The 49ers have struggled a bit against the Packers and the Lions. So, yeah, it would be difficult, but I think Brock Purdy can do it.
I'll ask for your prediction in a little bit because that's where the cookies are going to come into play here. But looking at the NFL as a whole, all the coaches have been hired. Which one do you look at and you say, I really like that hire?
It feels like too easy of an answer to say Jim Harbaugh because he's the big name, the biggest name. But I do think that's hire that makes the most sense. I think that unlike other guys who came from college, like Chip Kelly, we saw it in Jacksonville with Urban Meyer. Jim Harbaugh has already won at the NFL level. And in fact, he was he's on the Super Bowl stage. Didn't get the job done against the Ravens, but he's been to that mountaintop. So I think it's a perfect fit. Los Angeles for Justin Herbert. That one stands out to me. Yeah.
Go to the other side real fast. Which one are you kind of like, I need to see this to be bought into it? I'm trying not to be super negative about it.
I would say Dan Quinn. I think that's an example also of a guy who's been there. He went to the Super Bowl with Atlanta. But you look at last game when I was in Atlanta, not necessarily inspired. And so to me, it was just an odd move to go from Ron Rivera. It felt like a fresh start. We got a new GM, we got a lot of cap space, new ownership. Then to essentially get Ron Rivera 2.0. Now, I'm not saying Dave Quinn can't. I had a chance to talk with Micah Parsons earlier at a charity event. He said he's going to turn that Commanders team around. So, that's one guy, but that's just the one that I'm skeptical of. Yeah.
So far this weekend, which player or person have you talked to that you're like, all right, that was freaking cool getting this chance to talk to them.
It'll be third last year, so I had a chance to be at opening night with the Chiefs and Eagles, and obviously, yeah, all the big names, Mahomes, those guys are fun to talk to. I was mostly struck by the answer that Brock Purdy had. So I asked, he's big into his faith. It kind of keeps him grounded. I asked if he's leaning on specific scriptures. He said Psalm 23, but what struck me was he said, I don't need to win this game to basically feel accepted, to feel loved. And I thought that's just a profound statement from a 24-year-old quarterback on this stage. So I think he's ready for the moment. I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he's ready for it.
I think that's going to be the one of the interesting aspects for San Francisco is that question of when pressure gets to Brock Purdy, how does he react? Because we've seen it, and I wanted to ask about the Ravens because the NFL Honors is happening tonight. Lamar Jackson, all the comments, all the critiques, what do you make out of how that ended for the Ravens?
Well, disappointing, obviously, but I think that if you would have said, it doesn't take the sting away, but when he got that contract, for a couple months last year, it feels crazy to think about now. He requested a trade briefly. Like, it looked like he might not be back in Baltimore. You told Ravens fans at that time, and they gave him that contract, that you're going to end up in the AFC Championship. They would have taken that. I think just getting to that point, I know it doesn't take away the sting that they could have been here, but it was year one under a new coordinator. The weapons you're talking about, Zay Flowers, a rookie, and then Odell Beckham, a bunch of kind of makeshift parts. I think it's a step forward. Lamar Jackson is still one of like 5 or 6 quarterbacks that's going to transcend any circumstance. So they're moving in the right direction.
There's a big crowd that's just walking by. Josh Allen just went by, so.
We'll in here next.
I was gonna say we're gonna go get him some cookies, and Josh Allen's gonna come sit down and do this. All right, I'm gonna get you out of here on this, Cody, because I know you're busy. We're all very busy here on Radio Row. The cookies. So just so everybody can see what we're talking about, you're gonna tell me who you think's gonna win, and whoever you pick, you get that cookie to take with you.
So if one of them looked like a lot more tasty than the other, I might be tempted to.
Okay.
No. So I'll say, me. Seems a lot like last year. It seems where the Eagles and the Chiefs last year, I think most people thought the Eagles had the better roster overall. But at the end of the day, it's Patrick Mahomes, just like it was Tom Brady back in the day. I think the 49ers have better talent. I think the Chiefs are going to go for the state. I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers do it, but how can you not go with the Chiefs? I think it's like in the AFC Championship. Your heart says Ravens, the head says Chiefs. So same thing here.
All right, well, you can take the Chiefs cookie with you. You get a Super Bowl logo. By the way, I'm intently jealous of this jacket you have on right now. Like, that is a nice jacket.
It was so CBS is hosting the Super Bowl, so they obviously they were nice enough to give CBS things. So, but just I'm telling you. This cookie
is that better than the jacket? Be honest.
I'll let you know after I eat it.
Okay, but, fair enough.
I mean, not every table is giving away free gifts like this. So thanks for having me.
Well, Cody, we appreciate. Thank you for coming by, and we have more in a moment.